All right, today I'm going to build a inventory system and maybe a crafting system. I'll probably just do the inventory system today. This might be a three-part series. I'm going to stream it so I can just download it later without making a giant video file on my computer. I don't know a better way to do that. And if people want to watch and ask questions, I do have the chat open. I should see it. And I'm going to try and talk as much as possible while I'm doing this. Keep and continue. So one thing I do with VS Code is I try to open different projects, different colors, because I have a lot of these open at the same time, and I just find it makes my life a little easier. So this is a project we did the game jam. Today I'm going to be using VS Code. I might start with GPT-5. It's been a little slow. I don't know if I'll stay on it. I might just switch to um, Claude. I don't use Cursor because you can't compile Visual Studio, Unreal Engine. Um, so I need VS Code for that. There's like a error message about rights. First things first. I've built an inventory and crafting system with blueprints. I've never written one with C++, but I very much know C++ and prefer coding. I'm gonna have to do some blueprint work for visuals and eventually a widget. That'll take some time, but I'm going to do most of the code part with C++. The first thing I want to do is find out if I can turn off the audio for my quest system. I want to do this first. So when I run the game, it's going to start talking, and we don't want to hear this talking all the time. So let me check. Okay, hold on. Let's do it this way. Only disabling it because I don't want it playing audio all the time. I use it mostly for audio. And we can look while it's doing its thing. So plugins, simple quest, config. Uh, that's from redirects. I really don't like when people do these redirects. I didn't write this. It's written well. I mean, the guy wrote it. It's talented. It just big. All right, so I would like to. All right, step one, make that work. So I'm going to add a config setting to disable the quest. It will be set to false in the code by default. So other people, it won't screw them up. But if I set it to true in my config, it won't run. I almost like a lot of times when I do this, I have two projects. I have an audio project I work on, and I have the game project, and I do the game in one window and the other one in another window, and I just keep going back and forth. I can do this though. I can run this. It's still reading. Uh, oh, wait a minute. I renamed the folder. I'm gonna have to fix that too. So this was originally done for Game Jam. It knows that I spelled it wrong. Look at that. You really gotta love modern technology because, like, years ago, I would have sat there for a long time. So we originally did this for a Game Jam. Control F. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. All right, save that. So now I can't launch it though because this is halfway through editing code. So I gotta let it finish and do its thing. True. Save. Run. What is this? Yeah. It runs. I changed the name of the project today. That's a good sign. Oh wow. Hey, we get a game. I lost my game. All right, so this is the game. This is junk. So hopefully now we run it. It works, but doesn't play a bunch of sound. All right, good. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to keep this open so we can do blueprint stuff while it's doing code. The way I like to do this, I keep a docs folder. And my docs folder is missing. Where it is. Source docs. There we go. About all the different things and how they work in the system. So, like I would say, update the quest dot md file with our new config. And then I keep the MD files up to date so that I can reference them later. Keep the AI in track if it gets lost. So it should be pretty quick. Okay. Keep. All right. So tell me what we did. So we don't have an inventory system. So we're going to create an inventory system. So today we'll create the inventory system. We'll create the inventory system. The idea is we're going to collect two things. We're going to need two of one item, three of another item. And then when you collect those two things, you're going to be able to craft them later with a crafting system. And then that's going to make the weapon stronger. But for now, we're just going to do the inventory system to collect stuff. And then either tomorrow or Saturday, we're going to do the other one. And then maybe I'll pull it all into one video. So we're going to create an inventory system for our previous character. C++. We'll need, let me think about this. We're going to need inventory component. track each item. It'll have an array of inventory items. Which will keep track of item pickup in the quantity that we have. All right. We're going to start with a markdown file and design it first before we tell it to code it. So there's already pickups in this system. I didn't write them. Somebody else did. There's a lot of that in here. I've written stuff though, both by hand and with vibe coding. We're going to look at Proteus. Pickup interface. That's what I was looking for. So we have a pickup interface. And why it says it includes the header. So you don't implement anything on the interface. So I'm in the private folder. I should be in public. Interfaces. Pickup. All right. So we're going to get picked up. We got a blueprint event. How would you want this in the blueprint? All right, so we got this first. First, we're gonna see what it designs, and we're gonna make sure our items use the pickup interface. So let's keep this, and let's look at our inventory. Oh, where'd it go? Right there. One big inventory from JS, tracks quantities implemented as a. All right, focused on core gameplay first. Pick up, stack, use, drop between extension points for UI and persistence goals. Track items as stacks with quantities, e.g. MO 120 medkit 3. It gets it. Simple and fast API for gameplay code and blueprints. All right, we're gonna have delegate hooks. That's good. But I don't. No goals initial equipment. Item crafting, durability, complex metadata systems. Oh, so these are non-goals. So we're not building this in yet. That's cool. Okay. So core data model, item ID, display name, quantity, stack, weight. That's interesting if we want to slow the ship down. I kind of like that idea. Tags, F gameplay tag container, optional expansion, meta, tmap, optional lightweight metadata. I'm not sure what it would want those for either. I think I want an icon though, right? We want an icon. So we don't need tags. Meta. Max weight. That's a good idea, especially with like a ship. um, I'm gonna remove all the weight stuff though, just for simplification of what we're building now. With 0, it's disabled. Yeah, I just want cleaner code. Keep it simple. Add item, remove item, get quantity for an item ID. All right. Let's keep that. Keep all these changes, edge cases. Yeah, no, we don't want any of that. Okay, let me so we want the inventory item to use the pickup interface, and we want the inventory item to be blueprintable. It's going to need a collision box and static mesh. Could use a skeletal mesh. I could just use a collision box and then add whatever I want, whether it's a skeletal mesh or a static mesh in the blueprint, because all I really need to code against is the collision box. So let's do that. Although, yeah, that'll work. Yeah. We'll also need a Niagara system to make it glow. And when we pick it up, we will need another Niagara system for the pickup effect. Also need pickup sound. So more design, more design, more design, more design. I really wish this was just like boom fast. I might switch to Claude just because this is so slow. Even GTP4 would be slower. It's because so many people are using this preview mode. While that's doing its thing, let's look over here. You can see and that's doing that. Let's do this. Lab. And we're gonna sign in. I was gonna grab it's free. There's free stuff every 2 weeks. And I don't have art skills. So I'll take them. I buy stuff too though. Which we might do now. Um, hey, look at that. Still running. We want price. Free. Format. Unreal Engine. Sell. Cellular. I already have those. Continue. It's taking a while. I'm tempted to add to my library. All right, so it went and added some items. I really just wanted the design first, but I wasn't paying attention, so I guess that's my fault. Pickup types, inventory item pickup. Um, this is slow. We're gonna switch to this. Yeah, this is always a nightmare when it tries to remove stuff. All right, but it did do the box component, the static mesh, the pickup sound. That was a lot faster. So we're gonna stay on Claude for today. We're gonna close all this junk that doesn't exist anymore. Close others. All right, so now we're good back on here. New inventory component. Why is it F inventory item? And all right, so I want my inventory item to be U inventory item, and it should inherit actors. Actor means I can place it in a world and implement our pickup interface, and I should be blueprintable. Let's see what it does here. Oh, I should have read this closer. Okay, I'm gonna keep this. I think I screwed it up. So let me see this again. So our inventory item. Okay, so or what we're gonna do is on the array on the inventory component. Will be a struct that has inventory item ID and quantity and icon. We'll set the item ID quantity and icon. Hello. Item. All right. Inventory component, track items, blah, blah, blah. Don't do any of this. Ooh. So I did add saving the game. but I don't want that in here for now. We are not a multiplayer game. No. Oh, attach the inventory component. Uh, no. No, we don't need replication. All right, I'm gonna save this. And I'm gonna go get a drink. All right, I have more code, more caffeine, sorry. So we can do more. Well, that's building the real engine here. Um, we're gonna do a sphere. And we're gonna accept. Uh, we're just gonna call it SM sphere. Keep it simple. Sure, this is still going. It wants to try a debug build. F key. I don't want it right on top of it, but we want everything over here so we can test in this area. And scale, we're gonna make it bigger. 10. Let's see if that goes here. So this is what color is it? We're gonna make it white. Oh, look at that. That's pink. Good enough. What's this? All right, so it wants to test it. Let's just let it test. I may have confused it by not reading the documentation well. All right, the build worked. Let's look at the code. So we got Proteus components, general inventory component. I would just call it an inventory component, but that might be named something else. I don't know if I did that. Pickups, inventory item pickup. I feel like it didn't follow my naming conventions at all. Oh, so it tells you why it renamed it. Okay, so that's nice. Probably a best practice thing. All right. Um, just ask. We could look at the code and check the class, but let's just see. So I want to know if it did anything wrong with the collision to make sure that only Proteus can pick it up, not the enemies. Um, that might screw me over if I add multiplayer later. All right, I want to look at the code. So inventory component, we'll start with the header file. We've got a quantity. Oh, it put the F inventory item in here. I don't like that. So we're gonna make a refactor before we run it. This will make a mess. And that's just my thing. Most people would probably just leave it like it is, but I don't like it that way. So it uses the item ID to overwrite the equals operator, so that you can check to see if the item it's picking up is equal to an item that already exists. I like that. That's nice. It's very clean. Texture 2D. We have to create textures. Ugh. On the inventory component.h, keep all this so it's not in play. We got our inventory items, which is the array of the struct. Max stack, max number of different stacks, unlimited. So if I can only have so many, we can put that there. Delegates, on item added, on item removed, on item quantity changed. So when these fire, I can attach to them. Blueprint callable, add item, remove item, get quantity, has item, can accept, try, split, stack. I don't really know what that is. Well, we can look at the code. It could tell us too. All right, CPP. Oh yeah, the item. All right, so there's that. And there's this inventory item. It's got our interface, an actor, it's blueprintable. That's what we wanted. Does it have its collision box? It does. It's got a static mesh component. I thought we didn't tell it to add that. Maybe we did. Our VFX and our other thing. So we got a BP on picked up. Do we have these on the begin overlap? So when we hit the collision box, it should fire. We've got the implementation now in the class. So we're going to want to look at that. We want to see what it did with the collision, right? So this is important. Set collision enabled, no collision from the mesh. That is right. But we do want it on the collision box. Set the profile to pickup. I think that's because the other things did. I didn't code the other pickups. So I'm going to assume that's correct. It's going to spawn my glow effect. All right, so that's good. I don't know if it's going to look right, but uh, here's our overlap event. That's pretty cool. Unpicked up. It's going to destroy it. Play sound, play the VFX. So if we play the VFX, then we destroy it. We might not see that. Spawn system at location. Oh, it's just spawning at the location, so it's not attached. So that might be okay. Is the other one attached? What? Let's just see where we're at. Run. Start. You know what I didn't check? Did we add it to Proteus? Hey. So that's a problem. Streamboo.com, huh? Well, that's doing that. I can do other stuff. We can go to our C++ classes, Proteus, public, pickups, and create a blueprint. Content. Pickups. White blood cell. We're going to call this BP base inventory. This is taking a while. All right, so while that's doing its thing, We got our box component. We got our mesh here. It's always better to be a little bigger than too small. I think that's good. All right. So over here, let's do faults. So this is going to be like its key, the item ID. And then what we're going to do is for this is going to be, I think so. I need an icon. I usually do use render targets and do things special here. But we're just gonna see if Fab has anything. Uh, Let's do this. Nope, we're gonna do it a different way. Go to content draw. And all right, so I added it to Petraeus. I can't run it yet because I'm doing stuff over here. There you go. So we move some icons. We're just gonna do one like this. And then for sound. Tangled out. That's funny. And glow effect. Pickup. It'll glow fire. It'll turn to smoke when we pick it up. It's a big cell. That's going to be its icon. Quantity 1 max stack 5. So we'll test that at some point. Right? Ah, 3. File. Save. So that's our item. Now we're going to go put it in the world. So we have sphere. First thing we can do is place actor. All right. F. Oh, it's a weird spot. Two, 3. Should only be able to get 3. 4. Save. We'll just test one item first. Over here, continue. You would think it built it earlier, it would know how to build it, but the AI is not good at that. One of the big things I see with tech now is like everybody wants to build it with AI, whether or not it should or shouldn't be built with AI. Which, in a way, I'm doing this with AI instead of coding, so I'm just as guilty as anybody else. But I have people who are not architects or developers, or even tech people for that matter, and they say, "Can you build this for me with AI?" And what they should say is, "Can you build this for me?" And then someone should decide whether it should be built with AI or if it should just be built. And then I also see people being like, "We need to build this as agents," when it should just be regular, good old generative AI. There's like a lot of stuff there too, where like I don't know, everybody's in the rush to be the latest and greatest, coolest thing, which I'm not much different. It is what it is. All right, we built. Let's run it. Rip. Run, run it over here. It's 9:30. I'm getting tired. Well, it's only been 90 minutes of coding tonight, but I sat here for like an hour after I cooked dinner, went to work. All right, viewers at home can vote. Will it work? Oh, there's 0 people watching. Everybody said yes. I think. I think it might work. Let's see. Collision profile is usually what gets you. And I at least tried to get it correct.
Tango down.
Hey, that's one.
Tango down.
Two,
Tango down.
three,
Tango down.
four. All right, that's not good. All right, so it did some things. Let's check out the audio. Whoa. Added one, added one. So let's see inventory. That's one thing I gotta do is when I'm designing it in the markdown, being like always use the word inventory in the log file so I can filter the logs. One, two, three, four. So it let me pick up one, two, three, four, even though my max on the item itself was set to three, right? So let's just check it real quick. Make sure I did what I thought I did. Pickups, inventory, pickup base, pick. Max stack was set to three, but it didn't. It let us pick up four. Okay, so a couple bugs. Stack was set to three, but it four. So filter. Um, Last but not least, I don't even know if I really want like a static mesh on there. So I kind of like the idea of just having the glow like a Niagara effect, and then you pick up the Niagara effect. And then if I wanted to, I can throw a static mesh on there. But then I have to remember to set the collision settings correctly every time I add a static mesh. This will just do it. All right. Start. Go. I still have to build like widgets so that the player can bring up on the screen, but building widgets takes me forever. That's one thing about Unreal Engine. I haven't found something I can vibe code and build a widget, right? Like I can knock out HTML screens for websites, like in forms and stuff like that for days with the vibe coding. But when I try to build a screen that's just a simple click here on this thing, that's like not happening in Unreal Engine right now. I don't know if there's MCP tools that I can do it better with or what, but right now this is my situation. All right.
Tango down.
Oh,
Tango down. Tango down. Tango down.
that didn't work. All right, so we're gonna do a couple things first. I don't like those effects. Candle, fire, and smoke. So we want to use green. Ah, sound is not a problem. Good enough. So now do we see green and red? All right, so it is playing both. Uh, I think I just need to tweak the Niagara system so they work better for what I'm trying to do, so that one loops and the other one doesn't. I'm not gonna mess. I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm gonna worry about the number of items being picked up. Um, in our log. Oh, I think so. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we got to 4. So that's not good. Pause. So that's a good point. Do I want to make a new stack, split the stack into another item, or reject it? Um, we're not building like a full-blown crafting game here. So I'm gonna tell it to reject it. I don't know what I have in here for Niagara effects. Man. I'll worry about Niagara systems later. Hey, there we go. All right, so now we're gonna do one more thing. One more test, and then we're done for today. We're going to make another one so that we have an array, two different items. Um, pickups, assets, pickups, inventory. We're going to create a child group right class from the base one. And we're going to call it boom. We're not going to call it base. So there we go. Easy peasy. Pick. Oh, to pink. Let's do this. We're gonna go. So how did it replace it with the blue one? Oh, it did. Oh, wait a minute. I'll make my life easier here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put that one. All right, there we go. It's my inventory system. So now I gotta build some widgets on top of it and add crafting. But for today, I'm done.